Hi, it's Stephanie. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my channel for Friday Sews. It's Friday, everybody. I love Fridays because this is hashtag Friday Sews, the day you get to go visit everybody and see what they've been up to. So if you haven't seen a Friday Sews video, stay tuned for this one and then go see others who are also going to talk about sewing and life and fun. So my first thing I wanted to talk about was Frugal frocks. I just posted my Frugal frocks video, and it's just funny how much that whole challenge really impacted me. First, to force me to go to my stash, which I don't know why that's so hard. And secondly, to look for a free pattern. And I think forever and ever, we will be able to do hashtag Frugal frocks challenge 2021 and find dresses that we love and they're free patterns, because every single one that did this, the best place to look is on Instagram. Do the hashtag Frugal frocks 2021 and you'll see a bunch of people showing what they made in March, and they're all free patterns. We all used a free pattern. So I really enjoyed my whole process and I love my dress so much. But I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Two things that were super big personal, like, aha moments in my Frugal frock. One was that I mentioned that I was afraid to cut my fabric because I like it. And I actually was thinking of doing a hashtag or a challenge, and then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm just not organized enough to do what they did. It was huge. So instead, I just want to say, here's your challenge. Don't save fabric. Don't save your fabric. Really go ahead and do it. Just make something out of it. Should we challenge each other to cut a piece of fabric that we've been saving? If you want to kind of just between us girls challenge ourselves to cut a piece of fabric we've been saving, we leave it in the comments and maybe we'll just all do it together. No big deal. Except cutting that fabric we've been saving, kind of crazy, right? The other thing was, I love sewing with stretchy fabrics and they're just comfy. This dress, stretchy. I didn't make this. It's a Stitch Fix dress that you could see a video, a reveal from it like 2 years ago. Love this dress so much, and it has pockets. I'm all about pockets. But sewing with stretchy fabrics is tricky for probably anybody. And so one of my problems with my Frugal frocks was I made a muslin. Now, for me, I like to make a muslin out of actual fabrics, so I'll get a dress out of it. But it was a mistake dress because everything that was wrong with that dress I fixed when I made my second dress. And so the second dress I made out of the fabric I didn't want to cut because I like it too much. Remember me talking about that? It's not as stretchy. Do you remember last week, I think it was on Friday Sews, I found out how to tell the percent of stretch in a fabric by, you take it at 4 inches and you hold it and you move and you get the percent of stretch. So I didn't measure the stretch from my original muslin Frugal frock dress to the finished dress, but it was not as stretchy. So here's what happens when you do that. The dress fit perfect in a super stretchy fabric, but the less stretch, it was not as loose. Not the way I would have liked it. And I remember putting it on thinking, whoa, it doesn't fit like the other dress. Is this too tight? And then you know what? I just really want to let go of a perception of what my size should be. That's kind of a journey I've been on. I want to let go. And I remember thinking, I like this dress. And it's tighter than I wanted, but I like it. It's super comfy. And I don't want to be ashamed of whether something makes me look fat or not. I'm still working on that, believe me. But I remember thinking, I'm just going to feel pretty in this dress. So I went and I did a video and I took the pictures, and oh my gosh, you all left me some beautiful comments that I looked pretty, that the dress was pretty, and I really loved every single comment. And one person said it's too tight. Now, right off the bat, that is not mean. Trust me. There are so many mean things you could say. You're ugly, you're too old, and all of that. And whoever said it, totally just constructive criticism, and I actually agree with her. It was too tight to me too. I wouldn't really say it, but maybe someone needs to hear that when they're sewing. Constructive criticism, right? But I took it like personal. Like, oh my gosh, she's right. It's too tight. I look fat. it sort of took away my joy for a moment. Then somebody else left me a comment saying, no self-criticism here, love yourself. And I thought, I almost feel like that's God speaking to me, like, stop it already. And so to both commenters, I want to say thank you, because you're part of my journey. And I really appreciate that so much, because I'm getting messages from God, the universe, that helps me grow. You know, I'm 62, but I still want to grow. And so I feel like it made me really stop and think about, what do I want to be as a person? Do I want to be a person who judges myself harshly, or somebody who loves myself? And, you know, if you're in my age group, you might have learned not to be vain. I mean, that's something I learned at a really young age. Don't be vain. And so where's the difference between being vain and being a healthy respect for yourself and love for yourself? So that's a journey I'm on. And if you're in that same position where you harshly critique your body, then join me in trying to let that go. The young girls, I don't think they have the same problem. I think they just love themselves more, because it's just, I don't know. So that was a kind of a journey, and I am very happy to say that I feel myself shedding this weight that is self-judgment about my body, because I need to do that. So I don't know if I even want to put this in my video. Oh my gosh, that went where I didn't expect it to. But just a journey I'm on, and if you're on it too, then you know you have somebody who feels the same way. So I have a new project that I'm working on, and it was funny because I just sat down and I'm like, I don't know, not a funk exactly, but I just didn't have anything I wanted to do. And I want to do something fun. And so I just went through all those new patterns that I picked up at the 99-cent sale. Oh my gosh, I haven't told you about that. I'm going to do a whole video on it. I'll try to post it maybe Monday, Tuesday. I've got a two-parter. Patterns and fabric. Shopping spree. So this is the new pattern I chose out of my new pile of patterns. Oh my gosh, did anybody else get in on that 99-cent sale? Simplicity. I actually like Simplicity. It's my favorite out of all the big four. And so I'm going to put this up here. This is Simplicity 8878, and it's not for stretchy knits. So that's a departure for me. But just watching all the other videos that I watch, and I don't get to watch enough. It's just hard, right? There's too many really fun videos to watch. But I'm just seeing a lot more of just dresses I want to make that aren't stretchy knits. So this is out of cotton, out of this beautiful fabric. And I actually have purchased this to make something else, but it just became this dress. So I'm got it cut out, and I'm ready to start stitching it up, and I'm really excited. I almost wanted to just do it before I made this video, but I knew I'd run out of time for Friday Sews. So this is my project I'm working on right now, and if you want to see it finished, if I finish it before my next Friday Sews video, I will post it on Instagram and Facebook. I just do Instagram and Facebook at the same time. So if you're not on Instagram and Facebook, are you somewhere else? Because I'd like to know. I think I'm on everything. But to me, it's just easy to post on Instagram because it posts twice. It posts Instagram and Facebook. And if you're on Facebook, they have private messenger, which I love because we get to have conversations. And it's not as easy on Instagram, is it? So my favorite place to have discussions and get to know people is Facebook. So if you want to see this dress, when I'm finished, I'll probably post it on that platform. I'm really excited about it. It's super cute, and it has pockets. I think that I've just decided everything from now on must have pockets. It's just a rule. I like having them, and there you go. Now, you probably saw this. Okay, so do you remember hashtag Get to Know Friday Sews? I don't know, was that last time or the time before? We all answered questions from Jen, who is the originator of Friday Sews, and what machines do you use was on that questionnaire, and I was happy to answer my machines. Is my brother, which is the Project Runway, and my new Viking Air Threader, Amber Air Threader. And the Viking was expensive, and the brother was not. I don't think it was cheap. I think it was like $250, $350. I don't know. It wasn't cheap. For me, it was a lot of money, but I know people spend a lot on machines. I see it. My mother has an embroidery machine, which was very expensive, and I see the value in that, but I just haven't done that. I don't feel like I have the money to spend on that. So everybody seems to have two sewing machines. Not everybody, but you know, kind of like high school, everybody else is doing it. So I started thinking, you know, Jen said that when she was doing the top stitching on her Mountain Views. Have you seen that video? We both did a Mountain View review of the pattern Itch to Stitch Mountain View jeans, and she set up her top stitching on one machine and her regular stitching on the other, and she didn't have to rethread. I did. I had to rethread every time I did something. I had to rethread my machine, which is no big deal. I mean, once you've done it a lot, it's easy. But I started thinking, well, that would be cool to have a second machine. So I started thinking, I need another machine. But I don't want to buy an expensive machine. I already did that with the Viking, and I love it. So then I started thinking, do I want to, you know, flip for a big expensive machine? And then I'm like, no. So I went in the sale paper, Craigslist, and there was one sewing machine. And it was $250, and I thought, well, that's a lot, but it's not like a brand new machine, right? So I did the email, and we emailed back and forth, and they said, you know, I could come look at it on a couple days later. It was their mom's. They don't know much about it. They listed everything about it, the model and what all the features were, and I thought, I'll go look it up online, and I could buy a brand new one of these for, you know, like $450. They retail for $6.99, but you can always find them cheaper at sewing stores and stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna pay $250 when for $200 more I got a brand new machine. So I just wrote him back and said, never mind, I'm gonna look at brand new machines. That's just too much for used. And the guy wrote me back and said, would you take it for $180? And I'm like, I'll look at it. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not that much difference. Well, it's you know, $70 difference. And you know, there's a big difference between $180 and like $459 or $499. And I really liked what this machine said it did, because it says decor. And I do like garment, but if you follow my channel, you know I like decor. I love cushion covers, I like curtains, I like making decor. And decor fabric, you know, it's thick, and this was supposed to be made for it. So I went and looked at it. It worked fine. I don't know, I had trepidation. You know, he didn't have any fabric to sew on, so I actually tested it out on a receipt that she had his mom had in the folder. So I just sewed a receipt, and it actually worked really well, and it looks brand new, like it doesn't look used. And so what he said was his mom thought she was going to get into sewing, bought the machine, never used it, maybe 2-3 times, and it frankly looks like that. And I felt like for them, because we lost my mother-in-law 2 years ago and had to go through all of her stuff and figure out what to do with it. And it's a hard time. And that's what him and his brother were doing. And they're our age, and they're trying to downsize their parents to put them into an elder care facility. And I just thought, I'm just going to buy it. It just felt right, you know? It just felt right. So I bought it, came home, and absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I'm going to make this dress with it. In fact, I think it's better than my brother. It just feels really solid and kind of quiet, and I just love it. So I'm really excited to work with it, and if I got ripped off or it's too much to pay, I'm just good with that, because it felt right in the moment, and I love the machine, so no harm, no foul. I'm okay. Like, it'd be better if it was $50. But it wasn't. And I'm no longer looking for a machine. I have two now. So that's going to be fun, you know, if I ever need to have 2 different colors going at the same time. Or when my serger broke, I was just left without a machine to work with. And I was working on a project that needed a serger because, hey, knits, right? And so I felt like I had to go get a machine immediately. And I did. And so now I have a backup, so I don't ever feel like I'll be stuck. So that's all my sewing news. It's quite a bit. I did make a lot of purses. Can I just shove that in there for a moment? Thanks, Heather. You've made me addicted to purses. And all the leads you guys have given me for other videos, for other purses, totally looking at all that. I really do enjoy making purses. And I will keep doing that because they're so fun. And the easier the better, because I like finishing stuff. I like getting stuff done and having them finished. So I just like easy. And I like repetition. This is weird because I have sort of learned about myself that I like repeating. I like that. There's something about it that's just, I like repeating. So making the purses over and over, making the birds over, and making my hoodies over and over. I like repeating. If I like this dress, I'll make it again and again, maybe. You know, I just like repetition. It's something about it that's just kind of, it gets easier and funner every time when I know how to do it. So I don't like the idea of making something and then never making it again. I'm a repeater. Okay, on the home front, we have had spring. And it's weird because this morning I woke up and it's going to be a beautiful day. I think it's like 70 outside. I sat out on my deck, got all my deck cushions out, all my upper deck cushions out. I'll show you a couple pictures. So I covered all those cushions. That was pretty fun. I've got videos on both of them, I'm pretty sure. And I've got a new project with some wicker that I want to do this year. So I already bought the fabric. It got too cold last year to even bother with it. But it's been nice. I sat outside. Deck sitting time. It's deck sitting time. It's hard to get anything done because I just want to sit there. The birds are back. You can hear all the birdies around and it's just gorgeous. Beautiful. I need to get some plants in the ground, and I'm not good at gardening, but I do want to add some more plants because a bunch of them died last year. But what didn't die is my daffodils. They come up every year and they've always been there. And last year, because I didn't get to go to the tulip farm because of COVID, which they were closed again this year. They didn't even plant new tulips this year because they planned on being closed this spring. So they said next year they're going to be open. So because I didn't get to see the tulip garden, hubby planted tulips out my window. And I see a bunch of daffodils, but we don't see any tulips. So this morning I went out there and looked, and there are going to be tulips. Oh my gosh. I want my own tulip garden here. Like, they could be everywhere, just like that tulip garden. So I think I'm gonna, you know, I think you plant them in the fall. I think I'm gonna get them to make even more. Like every year we could plant more. That's how that happens. You know, you just keep planting every year and it gets to be more. There's a Daffodil Hill is a place nearby, and that's how it started. The lady was like 1800s. She planted some daffodils and then she just kept replanting more and more and more. It became a whole hill of daffodils. It's gorgeous. But I could have my own tulip hill. How about that? Tulips, my favorite flower. And last but not least, happy Easter to you and your family. I'm really looking forward to Easter Sunday, going to church, Easter egg hunt, wonderful meal with my family. It's a beautiful day, and I just want to say happy Easter to you. God bless you and your family, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.